Good morning.
Good morning.
I haven't been here for lots of years and lots of years, but I've been a spiritualist for over 34 and actually really 40 years if I'm looking at my total. That was before some of you were born. And I'd like to talk today about the magic of believing. A 5-year-old girl in Waco, Texas, sat on a living room floor in a very large mansion that became a private school. And it was Mrs. Duncan's private school. And on a cold day or a rainy day when the children couldn't go out and play, Mrs. Duncan would bring the children in and have them sit on the floor, and she would have a fire lit in the fireplace, and she threw these wonderful pebbles, things, whatever they were, in the fire, and these beautiful rainbow colors came up in the flames, and it was just magical. And above the mantle and above that fireplace was a beautiful picture, luminous pastels, a gorgeous painting. Of course, it looked that way to a 6-year-old child. And the incredible thing was that she would tell the story of King Arthur. And the picture, that beautiful painting, was the picture of Excalibur the sword being held out of the water. It's sometimes referred to as the Lady of the Lake. And it wasn't so much about the story of King Arthur that I'm going to recap for you today. It's the understanding that in our early years, we are exposed to so many things that allow us to feel there's magic in life. And there are so many areas of our life that we look to for greater joy, for greater possibilities, for greater opportunities. Good morning. And you know, the beauty of, I've taught natural law for 30-something years, and the incredible thing about understanding the energies of life and how we move with them and how we flow with them and how they bring greater joy to us, I sometimes worry about the principle that says we have to obey or disobey, that those words sound a little tight to me. But you know, the incredible thing is that all of us are creative energy, and we understand the most basic principle that we believe, and it's a knowingness for most of us, that there is an infinite, and an infinite means unlimited possibilities. So whether you're 6 years old and sitting on the floor and listening to a magical story, whether you're a child and you're looking at a June bug in a jar for the first time and have that wonderful sense of discovery, there is an incredible place within each of us that is animated and excited and ignited with just the moment of a thought. Have you ever noticed how you can be in the deepest moment of despair and the greatest challenge, and all of a sudden have some moment where there may be laughter, or there may be joy, or there may just be a moment that brings you a softness. There may be just a moment that takes you away from the energy, the effect, and the sense of dread, or the sense of worry, or the sense of pain or difficulty, and moves you out of that into the moment of being in the present. We talk about being in the present a great deal, but in the magic of believing, don't you have to believe in a future? In the magic of believing, it's to recognize that there is time to come, time ahead. My first reading I had in 1970, I won't say when. It was a long time ago, I get right here to prove it. But my first reading was pretty incredible because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I had flunked out of college, and I don't need to go into that story. However, I was floundering. You know, I hadn't had the 2.5 children in suburbia and had a career to fall back on in case something happened to the husband that I didn't have. What do you do? So I had this little dilemma at school, and you know, suddenly asked to leave. And that's not an easy thing either when you've achieved other opportunities in high school, and then college became a total different experience. However, went for my first reading, and I sat with the gentleman who was a cross between Santa Claus and Swami Satchidananda. because he had these wonderful cheeks. If you've ever seen Swami Satchidananda, he has these cherubic cheeks. He taught integral yoga. And the amazing thing is that as I'm having this reading, which I didn't have a clue what a reading was, this man looks at me and says, "Missy, you could do this work." And I'm going, "What work? What's the work? Where's the work? What work is he referring to?" Because you see, the mystical or the unusual or the psychic or the metaphysical, well, you didn't talk about it a whole lot then, and you certainly didn't show it to a lot of people if you were a little psychic. However, everybody in this room is intuitive, because you know the most incredible thing is you have an innate capability. It's an instinct. And that instinct is something that drives you into wanting more out of life. Have you ever noticed? The soul of you wants to create joyfully and impeccably and quickly. And the body of you houses that soul. It's the platform that observes the creations of your soul. Do you realize that? And all of you have one. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for answering. I was worried I was in the wrong place. But you know, the magic of believing is to understand that you have talents and skills and opportunities. You have new relationships. You're expanding all the time. How many people I've met this morning, and will I remember their names? I'm not sure. But you know what? It's like you touch in with things. We're commingling with each other all the time. Whether you're interacting, whether you're communicating verbally, whether you're having an excited communication or not, we're still commingling. You're commingling every time you drive. Then you worry about some of the people you're commingling there. But the amazing part of the magic of believing is there's infinite possibilities. The infinite, we call the infinite, infinite. I call the infinite the isness. Because to me, God is everything and one thing more. It's that one thing more you haven't created. It's that one thing more you haven't done. It's that one other job you haven't taken. It's that one new place you haven't been. It's that place you've been that's suddenly different or changed or altered. It's that newness. And every time you do something, and I don't care how repetitive it is, it's different. Because you're different. Did you know that we only learn to walk one time? One time. One time. Did you know that when you were little, that you probably learned to walk because you wanted to be able to get those cookies that were up in the cabinet? Did you know that you learned to walk one time? Your little legs held your body and did their utmost to support your little body, and they may have done a bang-up job and they may not have. But the amazing thing is, after you took that one step, that one attempt, whether it was a failure or not, look at where you are today. Look at where you are today. You've had more life. And the amazing thing is that all the rest of the times you ever took any steps or did anything with your body, that's been practice. Did you notice that? You're practicing all the time. The magic of believing is understanding that there's more life and more opportunity. Crystal Bell, I think I've got her last name correct, in Missoula, Montana, is a preschool teacher. And she has had a class of 3-year-olds, and it's a private school. And a volunteer made capes and costumes for these 3-year-old children. And once a month, for a couple of days perhaps during that month, she takes them out into the community and lets them be superheroes. They clean up a neighborhood. They go visiting certain areas like nursing homes. They visit, they share, and they become part of their community. 3 years old. And the comment was that many of the children coming into the school want to be superheroes. She developed this program to help the children discover compassion. Compassion. Where did you learn yours? We all have it. You wouldn't be here in this church if you didn't have a place within you that sincerely reaches discovers and wants to become more and more. If the soul of you wants to create, and it wants to create joyfully, then the most incredible thing is you have a place within you that believes life can be more, that you can be more, and you can. You may be, if this is your first time visiting, great. Happy you're here, please come back. The management is going to have different people on from week to week, so whoever you're hearing today is not who you may hear next week. No comment. However, joyfully, and you know what? The spirit of you works best at play, but you witness up here constantly the evidence of life after death, the evidence of prophecy, the evidence that life is more. More. It's just more. And so there's that element is within you. That is that place that seeks healing. It's that place that seeks some change, some alteration of being. Not because you're not worthwhile, right exactly as who you are. That's not what I'm saying. Not because you have to become better. You don't have to become anything different than who you are. But what you get to do is to discover more and more. Life is not a problem to be solved. It's a mystery to be explored. Explored. And that's what you're doing every day, no matter how rote, no matter how routine, no matter how boring, no matter how depressing a job may be, a situation may be. You may face a lot of challenges in your day. You may face a lot of relationships that come and go out of your life. It is what it is. And the amazing thing about you is, though, that there's going to be this wonderful place within you that has this magic to it. It's just magic because it wants to play. It wants to become lighter. It wants to become happier. It wants to become more joyful. The spirit of you works best at play. It works least under obligation. If you feel in your life that there are stresses, if you feel in your life that there are challenges, if you feel in your life that there are obstacles of any kind that impede you from moving forward the way you desire, it does not mean that you're doing it wrong. It does not mean you haven't manifested it correctly. It may mean that the best is yet to come. Your focus and your attention and what you keep your attention on, these are all laws of nature. The law of focus, the law of attention. There's law of participation, perception, projection. And we have them, you know. We do these things constantly. Your life is going to be filled with opportunities for your growth, for your expansion, for becoming more, for learning more. For those of us in this room who have been in this work for a long, long time, we still are amazed when we sit across from another human being or we're on a public platform and we give a message and we bring through evidential information. There's still a wow, a wow. And all of you have that. It's that inner knowingness and it's that place of magic within you that believes, that trusts, that for just this, even if it's a nanosecond, that there's hope. Hope is action. It's not just meditating that you want healing. It's not just meditating that you want to win the lottery. I know who you are. Got your numbers, do you? But what it is an opportunity for you to go within. For you to go within and then to take actions of some sort. Those actions don't have to be huge. Those actions don't have to be charitable. Those actions don't have to be on a grand scale of you giving up all that you are and all that you have. What those actions are to me are the little steps that you take within you to do something a little differently, to look for something different, for just to experience it and to have that aha moment. I have a note on my computer. Well, I have lots of notes. Some reminders to be in the place that I forgot. However, I have one big note, and it says, be amazed and entertained. Be amazed and entertained. Life is changing, isn't it? Yes. What you went through 5 years ago, is it the same? You may be wearing the same clothes. But the incredible thing is you have within you this energy, You have within you actually energies, plural. And those commingle with everything you're doing. Those commingle with the spirits of loved ones, whether on this side of life or the next. Those energies commingle with all of us together as we are here. They commingle with the very seat that you're sitting on. You have a relationship with that seat. Thank goodness. So I can stand. So what you want to do is explore the actions you can take if you need hope. Explore the places within you that you can create if you want to see things a little differently. It doesn't mean that you have to leave a job because the job has become difficult. What it does allow is an opportunity for you to discover if there's another way to focus about doing the job, about letting it have its purpose. A wonderful website where I found the information about Crystal Bell and her students in Missoula, Montana is called tonic.com. I saw it on the Ellen show. I heard it. I guess you hear things when you see the show. Okay. Anyway, and it's an interesting website because it has a lot of different articles about all kinds of things. Some political, some in other countries, some. It's just very diversified with the type of information. I am not real computer literate. I call myself a typewriter refugee held hostage. I am. I deleted my partner's address book in his email once, and he had a business. I don't, when somebody says, oh, here, try it on my computer, and I go, So we learn a lot about ourselves, don't we? And you get to discover. I got to discover how to move something from one place into something else on the computer. And then I forgot it. But you get to discover. Don't you feel good when you discover something? A new talent, a new thing, if you like to cook, if you like to build houses, I don't care. But when you discover something new, I discovered that I don't know some of the hymns in this book today. And so I mumbled my way through. But you know what? I'm still having a good time because I'm here. I'm here. Where are you? And if you are at home in your thought because of disturbances or difficulties there, it is understandable, but bring your attention here. Be here. Be gentle with being here. That's where you're going to absorb. You're going to absorb all the information that you need, and some of it you wish you hadn't heard. But the amazing thing about the magic of believing is that you've got it. You've got a place within you of thought. You've got a place within you of a soul growth and expansion. You've got a place within you that your spirit soars. It just soars. And have you ever noticed that when you feel a certain vibrancy and energy and excitement, that every cell in your body feels like it's singing? Have you ever felt that? It's wonderful. And if you've gone through a period of time where life has been a little dull or listless, or there hasn't been enough oomph to it, and is anybody going through that from time to time? Thank you for the hands. I just want to make sure I was in the right place still. Is the fact that the opportunities for us are endless because our possibilities are endless. You don't know if you're going to meet some dynamic person sitting right here in this group that will change your life by one little thing they say. Not because they redirect your life, but because of some little story they tell you or joke that they say or idea. I've learned to cook that way. Easy. You share ideas, don't you? I watch the Food Network on the treadmill at the gym. I do. I don't get cable at my house, so it's an easy thing to do. And right now, the timeline of when I'm at the gym is when Charm City Cakes show is on. Well, and Charm City Cakes is for those of you who don't know, is a wonderful place where a chef bakes, and he developed this business using his friends, and these are incredibly talented people, very artistic, very skilled, and they're constantly in a state of joy. They're constantly playful. They're constantly participating with what they're doing. They're constantly having so much fun. And I thought, this is the way to have a business. But they're creating these incredible things. They created a cake for the 125th anniversary of the Boston Pops Orchestra. And the cake that they made was the full, what do I want to say? Not the theater, but just, probably, but it was huge. The one that they did Friday at the gym, the one that they made was a replica for the 25th anniversary of Back to the Future, the movie, and it was the car. And it's a cake, and it could move, and the doors could swing up, and it's amazing how they do these things. And you know what? I used to watch Industry on Parade as a little girl, and not because I felt like I was going to go into having a business and making carpeting or something, but because of the fact that it was always kind of magical, wasn't it? To watch how these things would spin and move and pulleys would do this and that, and all of a sudden they would have a creation of something. So what are you going to create today? What are you going to create today? You've got infinite spirit, you've got infinite capability, you've got unlimited possibilities, and you've got a place within you that believes in magic. I know it. You know it. I didn't use my notes. However, I'd like to close with something. It's the surprises of life that cause you to expand. It's not the knowledge that you have. It's the discoveries that you make. Because possibilities are endless. I thank you so much for letting me be here. Today is such a beautiful day outside. I hope that whatever you're doing, that your heart is filled with joy, and that you allow that joy into every cell of your being, so that you understand that this place within you has a little place of knowing, because you've known joy. You ate a little cookie when you were small. You did something that brought you just an exhilarated moment, and you will do that until your last breath on this earth and then beyond. God bless you.